y'all, how y'all doing? Welcome. Samantha Simpson here, and we're going to do a level 0.5 chair practice with the Bowspring. And the reason I call it 0.5 is because it's something that anybody can do. It doesn't matter what your level is. And that doesn't mean it's not for the advanced practitioner either. So please join along. Hey Jonah, are you sitting in a chair? If you are, then you're ready. We're gonna do a chair practice today. Sorry I'm a few minutes late, guys. Let's get started. So this is so important because we spend a lot of time sitting in a chair in this day and age. A lot of people spend their whole day sitting in a chair. And we get stuck in that C shape that even we're just leaning in the chair, the shoulders drop forward, the head goes forward of the body, and the neck starts to jut out in the front. And then we keep this C shape when we're driving in our car. We keep the C shape when we're walking around looking at our phone. And then eventually we get stuck in this C shape until we have a walker. And then we're walking around in the C shape, stuck in that altogether. And so since we do have to sit in a chair a lot in the chair day and age, what if we learn how to sit in a chair in a mindful way, in an active way? Even just part of your day, you have a choice. You could do things the way that you've always done before, or you can try something different. And when you first start implementing the Bowspring posture into your daily life, at first it may seem exhausting, like you can't do it for very long. And that makes sense. When I first started to do the Bowspring posture in my daily life, I couldn't do it the whole day. I could probably was doing it for an hour altogether each day. And now I spend almost all of my day in the posture. And when I go out of the posture, when I go into the C shape, it's because of a choice. I'm gonna shut these. So just open. How's that? That's a little bit better. All right. So if you're already sitting in a chair, then you've got step one done. If you're not, then find a chair and sit in your chair. And we're gonna get really into the chair. We're gonna feel the chair. So let's reach behind and take your buttocks and pull them out from underneath you. So instead of sitting on our butt is actually off of the chair. We're sitting on the backs of our legs now. That's a new feeling. All right, your feet, your paws are underneath your knees. Let's look at our feet for a second here. Yeah. The toes are going to gracefully curl forward. Imagine that there's lead in the tips, the last joint of each toe, and that makes them fall over. Behind the toe, the area behind the toe caves up. All right? So now that the tips of your toes are touching the floor, the balls of your foot is on the floor as well, and it's squeezing and caving up from underneath. I'll show that to you right now. So this area, the ball of your foot, squeezes and caves in on the inside, and that provides a spring, or what we call a hollow. So the Bowspring, we're becoming springier. We're putting more space between our joints. We're getting a little spring in our step, especially if we can develop this hollow, this arch right here. Also, what we're trying to do right now is develop the space between your toe and the floor. So there's a caving in between the backs of your toes and the floor. The tips of your toes feel heavy like lead. This inside point on your foot caves up. And now that we've got those details figured out, let's touch down. The tips of the toes touch down the earth first. The toes curl. The ball of the foot touches down now and curls up. Press both the balls of the feet into the floor. Energetically press it in deep, like you're pressing it in deep, thick mud. And then energetically draw the heels back to ignite the posterior chain of the leg. So I now feel my calves engaged and my hamstrings engaged now too. So feeling really rooted to the chair now. If someone came along and pushed me, I probably wouldn't go very far because my feet and legs are rooted. All right? this was going to be easy. So you're feeling something. You might get a little bit warm here. This is just step by step, gradually integrating these postures into your daily life is going to make a big difference in the long run. And you're not even going to have to go to the gym. And if you do go to the gym, it's going to be because you want to. It's because you're going to have boundless energy that you need to release. I'm not kidding. All right? So from the waist down, I'm pretty grounded. My knees can be energetically pressing away from each other. So let's all bring our hands to the sides of your knees now. And then press and resist your knees away from each other. Did your toes stay down? Watch those toes. Make sure they stay down. The balls are digging into the floor. So the toes and the balls we call the paw, like an animal's paw. Paws are digging in the floor. Heels are dragging back. And knees are energetically pressing away from each other. Yeah, there's a lot going on. But now the top of my body is free. The bottom part is completely grounded. So we root and then we rise. So the rib cage gets bigger, it expands. Imagine you have a elastic band around your low ribs. And your goal here is to make this elastic band bigger, to stretch it out to its maximum capacity, to find ribs that have been sunken in, that have been corseted, that have been bound together with fascia and muscle and tightness. Ever have any trouble breathing, shortness of breath, asthma? Could it be because you have corseted your ribs together and you cannot find full lung expansion? There's something there. So right now, Bowspring is a lot about opening the space between the ribs. So they might be here right now, and after practicing Bowspring for a while, your ribs start to do this. They can go, they can open up, all right? So think about that now. Close your eyes. Imagine your rib cage as a barrel, a wooden barrel that is round all the way around, and it expands. Imagine each breath you take in, this barrel gets bigger, not just from the front, but from the sides and from the back. Your shoulders are just a carriage that are placed on top of this barrel. Let's not pay mind to the shoulders right now. We're so lifted, even from under the armpits, we get big. Actually, let's take our thumbs underneath the armpits and lift the armpits up. Make them deeper, lift them up, and push the hands away from each other to make the shoulders more broad. Yes, think about your rib cage here getting so big. The bottom ribs are big. The middle ribs are big. Take your mind's eye to the place between your shoulder blades and find some expansion there. Tuck your chin into your chest. And then fill in that space between the shoulder blades. Get big there. Stretch that skin between the shoulder blades. Maybe even wiggle it around a little bit. Find some opening. Find some tightness. And then do a couple of knocking things there. And then gently lift the head, ears tilt back. And then we can bring our hands, keeping the liftedness in the armpits, keeping the broadness. Bring the hands to domes on the tops of the thighs. So a dome hand carves out the palm. We get deep in the palm, and every finger and every joint of every finger is bent. Look at your fingers now. Are they bent? Is every joint bent? The bottom of the dome is small, so you can cup up and cave in more. So domes are on the tops of the thighs. Every joint bent. Okay? Now rotate the elbows up. Stretch the arms straight. Squeeze the palms and notice an equal tone in your whole arm when you squeeze the palms. We're just sitting in a chair, guys. We're just sitting in a chair. Find your big rib cage again and start to gently sway it side to side. Finding movement here. Now let's do some barrel rolls, isolations of the rib cage, and start to feel how you can separate your ribs from your hips. Maybe you haven't done that in a while. Go the other way. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, I know this is a chair practice, but eventually I'm going to teach you how to stand too. Maybe I'll wait till the end to do that. All right, so let's bring 2 dome hands forward, and then we're going to bring the domes, remember the domes, to the sides of the head. So I'm still doming out my palms. I'm not going flat hands on the head. I've got domes on the head. Doming out the palms so I can find equal tone in the whole arm. This is called ecstasy arms. Elbows are forward, head lifts back, belly long, toes are heavy, falling toward the floor. Can you release the tips of your toes? Pretend they're leaded weight and they fall to the floor. Maybe it twitches a little bit for now. Press the pads of your foot, the ball of your foot, the paw of your foot into the earth. Press it in and drag it back energetically. Energetically press the knees away from each other to mound the glutes, to mound the whole bottom half of your body. And now float your rib cage. Your rib cage breaks away from your hips and your waist gets tall and long. We're just sitting. That's all we're doing. We're just sitting. Open up the belly, eyes forward. Smile to lift your brain, lift the roof of your mouth. Beautiful. And then we're going to keep this fullness, this tallness, this leaning back feeling, and then we're going to crescent to the right. Elbows stay forward, the left ribs start to lift and float, they stay broad. And then maybe find a pulse here. You might find there's not a lot of room to pulse here. That's your body indication that you've got reduced mobility laterally. Bowspring will help with that. And then bring it up center. Let's go for the other side. So first find fullness. Press elbows forward to round out the place between the shoulder blades. Palms lift and float and dome. Head leans back, back leans back. Knees resist, legs rooted. Crescent left. Right ribs reach towards the ceiling. Floating up, find a pulse. Well done. Reach 2 hands forward. Find seed hands. And then we'll do a seaweed sway. So seaweed sway has my wings, which are my arms, moving in connection to my torso. The difference would be, if I was just moving my arms, it would look a little bit like this. To do the seaweed sway, you bring your arms out forward to a V shape, elbows lift, and it's the rib cage that moves, see? Make it fun. Take this out on the dance floor and see what people do. They'll be like, wow, you really know how to dance. And you'll be like, it's Bowspring, baby. Wow, awesome. All right, find stillness. All right, now we're going to step the feet wide. So if you're not already, scoot to the front of your chair. This helps here. And blocks are good for this occasion. Thankfully, I've got some sitting right here. Okay. So you don't need blocks. Step your feet wide, toes down, the paw of your foot roots down, and the heels energetically pull back. Energetically press the knees away from each other, resist. Find fullness in the back heart, in the rib cage, and then reach forward. Knees resist each other. If you're in a chair with wheels, watch out. Okay. Energetically drag the heels back, toes heavy. Lean forward, lean forward, lean forward. So I'm still staying full in the back part. Energetically pressing the knees away from each other to lift the glutes, finding that inward lumbar curve. Reach down and touch your blocks with your fingernails, dome hands. So if you don't have blocks here, you can just reach and pretend like you're pressing it into something. So we do a lot of pretending in Bowspring, and that works just as good. Pretend like you're pressing into blocks. Energetically pull the heels back to activate the posterior chain of the leg. Stretch the belly long, claw your fingernails forward to stretch your belly even longer. If you've got blocks here, you can actually do that, claw your fingernails forward on the blocks. If you're super flexible, forget the blocks. Fingernails come down to the earth, still active in the legs and knees, still have that lumbar curve and the roundness of the upper back. Claw your fingernails, fill your back part, neck long, eyes forward, channel open, and come to release. Swing the hands back to ecstasy. Keep the legs wide here. Dome your palms, belly long, heels drag back, knees resist. Float your belly, elbows push towards the nose, they narrow, and they lift towards the ceiling. Eye gaze can go towards the ceiling. Stretch the skin between your shoulder blades. Float the ribs up. Soften the belly. Wide-legged back bend. Maybe find a pulse here. Staying engaged and rooted to the floor protects your low back here, which usually is the most flexible area. And then release the arms. Walk the legs, narrow, narrow. And then we're going to cross the right ankle over the left knee. All right, when we're here, we can give the foot a little bit of love. We call this tacoing the foot. So we'll folding the foot on itself and rolling the toes down. Any chance you can get to do this, this is healing. And if you know me, then I've probably done this to you. All right, let's push the right knee up to narrow the knee, and then lift the pinky toe side of the right foot. Let the big toe side go down. See what I've done there? So habit has us go the other way. Let's see if you can see that motion. I'm lifting the pinky toe side going against pattern. V back to the arms. Elbows lift. Let's bring left hand to right knee, right hand to ecstasy. And keep your chin in line with your breastbone. And then we're going to twist right. So notice I'm not opening my elbow and twisting my neck. I'm twisting at the waist, which doesn't allow for much travel. But that's where we need it. And then release. 2 seats forwards. Transition. Right toes touch down first. Paw digs in. Heel drags back. Easy. Huh? Pretty easy. Okay, other side. Left paw digs in, drags back, lifts up. Let's take it up. Let's give it a little massage, a little love. fold the foot upon itself. If the bonus points here, if you can maintain an ankle hollow here. So instead of pointing, going towards pattern, find the hollow and soften it. Whew, that one's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to soften that ankle hollow. Fold the toes down and then lift the pinky toe side of the foot. Maybe drop the big toe side of the foot. Okay, good job. Foot, narrow the knee up. You can reach and pull the flesh behind you again to find that lumbar curve if you've lost it. Fill in the rib cage. Let's come to genie arm. So grab opposite elbows. This would be a good place for us to fill in our back part. Drop the chin towards the chest. Get big between the shoulder blades. Lift the wings. Fill in. Float your ribs. So imagine your ribs are a barrel floating or a balloon floating, and your waist is the balloon string, and that gets longer and leaner. All right, now tilt the ears back. We're connected to the floor, and we're floating from the top. Drop the right hand, cup the left knee. Left hand comes to ecstasy, cupping the palm, soft fingers, and then we're going to rotate at the waist. Keeping that left elbow towards the nose instead of flailing it open and just turning the head, which is the pattern easy way to do it. So this is how we throw our neck out when we're looking to see who's coming behind us in the car. I know I've done that before. All right. When we have more mobility here, we can distribute the turn. I'm going to take a little bit in my waist and a little in my head now instead of just whee, whoo, just spinning here, which is delicate and overused. Narrow that knee up. Good. All right. And we're going to uncross it. This practice is meant for people interested in Bowspring, all kinds of people interested in Bowspring, and people who have done it before and want to refine their practice. It's also meant for people who have limited mobility and have not been used to a lot of movement. So this is a great way to get started, and it's short and simple, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Before we close today, I want to show you a mindful way to stand up from the chair. And if you do this, incorporate this into your day, then you're going to get a lot of practice without going to the gym or even doing a yoga video. All right? To stand, we press the paw of our foot into the floor, toes fall down. Balls dig in, heels drag back. Knees energetically press away from each other, belly floats, belly long. Let's press our arms forward, ears back, smile lifted. Lean forward, belly stays long, and come to standing. Good, that was so easy. Let's try to do it the opposite way to sit down. So we know where our chair is, it's behind us. We can keep our belly long and reach it back, sit back, knees resist, find it with your legs. Oh, that was a little far away. There we go, I did it! Woohoo, and you did it too. Great job. Thank you for practicing with me today. Please keep incorporating these movements into your daily activities, and you will notice a big, big difference soon. I'm Samantha Simpson. Thank you for joining.